Hey guys, it's Leesh, and welcome to another episode of Car Confessions. Guys, listen, it is freezing in New York City. Like right now, my car says it's 28 degrees outside. It feels like it's 2. Like it is so cold here right now. And these are the times, like this time of year, the winter, is when I am ready to just jump ship and leave New York City altogether. Like, it's so cold. And what keeps me here? So many things. But right now, if I could, I would be out of here. I mean, honestly, if Florida wasn't so crazy, I would move to Florida in a heartbeat. Like, no questions asked. Like, I love Florida, but it's a little wacky down there. So I'm here. I mean, I've always, also wanted to live like in California, at San Francisco, like the Bay Area. I love it. It's so beautiful. It's expensive. It's more expensive there than it is here. But I have to just wherever I'm meant to be, it's gonna happen. But right now, New York is just not. I'm not feeling it. It's too cold. But anyway, how are y'all doing? What's going on? How is life? How are you faring with all the things that are happening in the world? I'm telling you, like it seems like every day there's something new, and I feel like every time I get on here to talk to y'all, I'm like, things can't get any crazier. But wrong. It's just constantly unfolding with just nonsense here in the world. But regardless of whatever that is and what it looks like, here we are, right? Here we are doing our thing, doing the best we can. And that's all that's literally it. I think given all of the just non-stop craziness, it is just saying to myself each and every day, at least for me, I'm doing my best. Trying to make the most of whatever uh, this life is. I'm blessed. Let's be serious. I am blessed and grateful for the life that I have. And so for that, I just have to kind of like stay in that whole idea of, I'm blessed with what I have and what's going on with me. And that's it. These cars here in New York, just do whatever they want, as y'all know. The constant, in and out of traffic. Sometimes they have a signal, sometimes they don't. They just do what they want. It is what it is. Now that I'm saying that, I feel like that's sometimes how life is. Like, no warning, things just happen, and you just have to kind of like roll with it. And I feel like a lot of things in life right now are like that. Like, some things are just, you just find out, you're like, oh, that's happening? Okay, well, got to figure out how to maneuver that. I figure out how to make that work. But it's happening more and more and more, if that makes sense. It's like it's nonstop, new things or crazy things that are happening that we have to adjust to, particularly here in America. I mean, actually, it's all over the world. If you look at world news, if you're staying up with world news, it is just wild, pretty much everywhere. There are a few places that seem pretty chill. I mean, maybe that's the thing, guys. Maybe I need to start looking for a place to live outside of the United States. I mean, how many people do you know are staying here now that Trump is in office? I've seen on, different social media platforms that people are leaving and they're giving advice to people who are considering leaving the United States. Would I move out of the United States? Possibly. But the thing is for me is I need to visit this place. And on top of that, I need to know that it's safe for me to live there on so many levels. I'm a black person. I'm a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? Hello. I can't just up and be like, yep, I'm claiming my stake right here because as we know in other places, and even some parts of America, which is why I am still in New York, God bless, I'm not accepted. So I really have to be diligent on, thinking about something like that. Diligent? Is that the right word? You know what I'm saying. But the point of it is, I would love to get out of here. But then am I putting myself in a position to be in another shit show? You know? Who knows? Who knows? And I think also too for me, and maybe this is the martyr in me, I don't know. I'm like, fine. Maybe it's not even martyr. Maybe I'm gaslighting myself. That's a better way of putting it. But even though things are wild and crazy, who's to say that things are just going to get completely whatever, right? Like just like the worst part of life ever. I don't know. It could be. But the thing is, I can't worry about what could be. I don't know. It's the future. The future is the future. Right now in the present, things are going well for me. Is everything that I want happening? No. I mean, I think that's with a lot of people. Like, there's so many things that you want to happen and, blah, 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 blah. But in the present moment, I have everything I need. My family is safe. I'm not going hungry. I'm grateful for the heat that's in my apartment. This time of year, if you ask me what I'm grateful for, anybody, especially if I'm still living in New York City or somewhere that's cold during the winter, I am grateful for heat. Heat is so important, at least for me. I don't know about y'all, but I cannot be in a place where there's no heat or people are, stingy with the heat. Like, turn that shit up. Like, what are we doing? It's cold out here. And for those of y'all who like it at 68, God love you, but there is no way I'm out here putting on sweaters. No, I'm not doing all that. I'm at home. I want to be comfortable. And, if it gets a little warm, turn on the fan, maybe crack a window, and keep it pushing. But I am not going to be freezing. I refuse. I refuse to be freezing, y'all. This time of year, when I start, getting in my craziness and start, feeling sorry for myself, woe is me, blah, 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 or whatever that looks like, I start thinking about the things that I'm grateful for. And it's always the simple things. I start with the simple things and basic things. I was looking at my gas tank this morning. I was like, oh, grateful. I filled up my car the other night, so now I have plenty of gas. Grateful for that. Grateful to have money to even pay for gas. Grateful to have food, to be able to cook. And listen, that's a major skill. I didn't realize how many people could not cook, y'all. And the more and more I talk about that and hear about it, I'm like, oh, people really are out here who just cannot, like, at all. Like, they're burning, pots that have boiled water in it, or basically the water's all evaporated. You know what I'm saying? Wow, like, I am blessed on so many levels, and I have to remember that. I don't know what's gonna happen once we get to the point of the inauguration. And once Trump gets in office, if he gets in office, I still feel like he's not. But listen, maybe that's my delusion or whatever's. I just don't feel it. It just doesn't feel right. And so, I mean, that's a whole story. So, you know, my tinfoil conspiracies. But even though I don't feel that's the case, but I digress. But if it all works out the way it's looking, I don't know what's going to happen. And honestly, at this point, I don't even care. And I know that sounds so ridiculous. But how do I say this? Being a black person in America, I'm just keeping it real. We deal with so much shit, right? Constantly being the microaggressions, the full out blatant racism, the opportunities that people try to, shut you out of, try to demean you, make you feel like crap, this, that, and the other, the fearing of our lives each and every day. It's business as usual for some of us. I don't want it to be, trust me. For me, it's like I don't wish this on anyone. But I think at this point, like I say, if Trump gets in office and he starts doing all this craziness that he claims he's going to do, I think this is the first time, particularly white people that have not experienced discrimination, it's the first time that you're experiencing it. And I can't imagine. I'm not white, so I don't know what that's like to be in a position where, you know, you've never experienced someone trying to, create your downfall and maintain your downfall. I imagine it's very difficult to grasp because your whole life has been centered around you being the best, you getting all the benefits, or so you think, right? Because I think that's what it is too. It's like people are now waking up to the fact that's like, oh, it was only my skin color that was what was the thing. I was still being screwed over like everybody else, but I was being lied to that my skin color is the reason why I'm superior. And so I get all these benefits. And trust me, there are benefits that, white people get, obviously. I mean, duh. But like, at the end of the day, the average white person or person that's like a middle class and working class and below white person, I think a lot of them, unless they're, hardcore Trumpers and like just still in the fog, I think a lot of people are waking up and realizing, yo, we have played ourselves for so damn long. And it sucks, right? Because when black people, and I don't even want to say black and brown people because it's like, that's a whole other story too, but I'm just going to say black people because I'm a black person. But like, black people were raising awareness around this and sounding the alarm on the injustices of this country. People were ignoring us. People were basically saying, basically get over it. It's not that bad. I'm not experiencing it, so it can't be that bad, right? All the gaslighting, all the downplaying. And now here we are. And like I said, I can't imagine what that looks like on the level of realizing that you're being duped just like everybody else. And then on top of that, realizing that you were one of the reasons why we're in this situation because you didn't raise your voice. That's a hard pill to swallow, right? Like, right? And, not all white people were in this boat, but the collective was, and which has led us to this hot mess of a situation we're living in now. And it's not the only thing. And there's so many other things, but the majority of the issues, in my opinion, and this is just Leesh, it's my car confessions. I say what the hell I want. It's my car confessions. But the complacency is so real. And I think that's another thing too, like just sitting back and not saying a word and just hoping racism will go away. Just don't want to deal with it, right? I wasn't racist, right? That was people well before me. I had nothing to do with slavery. I had nothing to do with Jim Crow. You know, I had nothing to do with the segregation of black people in this country or anything that was um, deemed completely inhumane for black. I had nothing to do with that. And it's like, directly, I will give that to you. Directly, did you have something to do with it? Possibly no, because a lot of those people are either passed on or they're just very, very old right now, and whatever. But you benefit, and I think that's the key thing: is the benefiting of this system for white people that they're missing the mark. It has nothing to do with you blatantly being racist. You benefit from this capitalist racist society. And for you to not address that and, call it out, you're just as guilty. Because the thing is, if you're not questioning it and you're not standing up against it, everything's going to maintain status quo. We're still going to be out here looking crazy as hell. And so like I said, I think if anything, if Trump, you know, gets to do his big one, I think it's going to be white people will start raising their voices and saying enough is enough. Because we are seeing some of the most ridiculous stuff and hearing some of the most ridiculous stuff coming out of his mouth. And this man is not even in office yet, which is beyond me. Because it's like, how the hell are you making all these claims? You have not, done anything. The inauguration has not taken place. You've not been put in the office yet. And here you are with your little, dude, Elon Musk, making all these claims and you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You're taking over, these different countries. The Gulf of Mexico is going to be the Gulf of America. I mean, it's like, what are we talking about? And this is what I'm saying. I think a lot of white people are realizing, like, this man is bonkers. And the fact that so many people, and it wasn't just white people that voted for him, too. Let's be serious. But the fact that so many people voted for him off of all of this nonsense is ridiculous. And I think at this point, it's like, okay, it's one thing to have like some old white guy, doing the, the basic racist shit, right? You complain, you get mad, fine, whatever. Like the guy who refused to shake Kamala Harris's hand the other day, during the swearing in of his wife. That was disgusting. It was like, sir, what the hell's your problem? And I mean, y'all know, if you've been listening to Car Confessions, I'm not, you know, um, I'm not really like for either one of these candidates. Let's be serious. But still, there's a thing called respect. And that was disgusting. That man he literally, he needed a good ass beating. Seriously, after that. But, she held herself very well. I was like, girl, like, okay, you did that because that required a good smackdown. That was ridiculous. And his wife just not even acknowledging it. Whole other story. But yes, I mean, things like that, that happens. People get up angry, whatever. But this stuff with Trump is on another level. Like this man, it's concerning in a way where it's almost like, okay, is he senile? Like, what is going on? I mean, all these outlandish things that he wants to do. It's like, sir, get it together. Like what? And I think it's what it is too. Someone needs to just sit down with him, which, I mean, unfortunately with him, I don't think he would actually listen to anyone, but he needs someone to be like, dude, you need to stop because this has just gone on far too, like, get it together. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We will see what happens. Yeah. Another day in America. Season, God knows what, episode, God knows what. But that's how I feel like. I feel like we're in this crazy either movie or series that's never ending. Because every day is something, right? You're finding out some other drama. Stay tuned for January 10th of his court case. There's nothing. It's like, how many more suspenseful things can possibly happen at this point? Who knows? I mean, let me not say that because it'll just keep happening. But regardless, guys, it's important. We stay centered. We find ways to ground ourselves, whether that's through meditation, prayer, walks, being around good people. I had a really great get together with some friends this past Sunday, and it's like, this is what I need. I need good people around me, good energy, and just, that's the thing is like, at this point, this is another thing too, and I'm going to wrap it up here shortly. Knowing what we know, how wild the world is right now, if you're in a situation where you're around people that are toxic, that are treating you like crap, that aren't good for your soul, 86 them. Like seriously, like just get them out of your life. There's too many things in this world that are going on that you then have to deal with the world stuff, and then you're coming home or being around people who are wearing you out too. Let it go. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but figure it out because there has to be some joy somewhere. Find the joy. Look for the joy. It's there. You just have to find it. So yeah, that's it for me today. Love you guys. I'm gonna go in the house here. I have my therapy session. Really excited about that. And that's all I say, y'all. Let's just keep on keeping on. We are here for each other. I am here for y'all. Hopefully you're here for me. And yeah, one day at a time. All right, y'all. I love you, and I'll see you next week. All right.